can be very common in trading when you have a significant breakout and it seems like 90% of the move is in the first half hour. Then what do? Are there any opportunities later in the day? So that's exactly the situation we have today on Friday of option expiration week. The value area high from yesterday's trading is way down here at 1,575, and as you recall from our earlier videos, we've been dealing with that high that was made in the last couple weeks, just above 1,015 area. And the question was whether this rally off the last low was going to stop at this resistance or get back to the highs, and today answered convincingly with a very strong breakout, gapping up and never looking back, way above value in the first half hour. As soon as the 9 o'clock bar closed, it broke out on huge volume, obviously confirmed, and took out the highs, new highs since the March 6 low. And then we went into this very almost comatose sideways range, and we've been there ever since. Now this is a 15-minute chart, so again the question is, how do you trade this? Is there any way to get in and participate, either fading a high, or is there a safe place to get in on a pullback when the pullbacks are so small? So this is something that is going to be very, very revealing of the power of looking at our volume and our delta. When we have a couple time frames, we can really refine it. So here we have our chart set up where we have the 8-minute over on the left, the 4-minute in the middle, and 15-minute is way over here. And we're able to look at the multiple time frames, and it's amazing how clear the picture can become when we've seen something that looked like an untradeable narrow range, and at some point after a strong breakout like that, somewhere before the end of the day, you'd like to buy it because at the very least you expect them to go all the way back to the highs, and if you're looking at 4 or 5 points, or then it's certainly worthwhile to try to participate in that. So what we found that after a very weak attempt to extend that very narrow range downward, they only made about a point after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8-minute bars. So after 40 minutes penetrating only 4 ticks lower, you can find that indeed there is this great opportunity when we see delta decreasing each bar that's sold off on the 8-minute time frame, and then we have our number one clear-cut signal that the delta reversed on the low bar, and in fact that was a low bar for an extended period, 20 bars intraday. So it's a significant low because it was a clear-cut reversal of delta, and the selling here, as you can see by the overall volume, each bar also it was lower. The high volume was here, and then it was lower, not much difference on this bar, and selling dried up, but then what volume there was clearly on the buy side as this delta reversed. So this was a tradable low. It was a clear-cut signal, and if you go over, if you're looking at the 4-minute time frame there, the reversal actually occurred on this doji just before, and there was an increase of a significant increase, almost double the volume on that 4-minute bar. So buying around the doji there with a say a 5 or 6 tick stop was one possibility, or waiting for a more convincing delta reversal, which you got on the following bar, getting in at 101.25. It was about 10-15 minutes here of tradable profit. Again, very, very small profit, but we do have our resistance here on the 4-minute time frame, this this point of control, we can look at that more. We know that there's been the high volume trade from 10:30 until 12:30, 2 hours. That point of control was going to be very strong resistance, and that was in fact the high tick of the move up off of this smaller low. So when we look at basically the value that's been developed throughout the entire day, we can see that this buy here was at the very low of the value area, and buying 2-3 ticks off that low gave you 1.5, 2 points, which is tradable on an extremely narrow range. So we're seeing that really this volume and delta information can be very, very precise, even in very restricted trading environments, possibilities, that we can really define the turns even on very narrow range and very almost insignificant trading events. We had a very strong bullish perspective here, obviously. So knowing that this was the low of this several hour long range, that was another reason where you'd be looking to buy right there. And you were given the very clear-cut confirmation to buy that low. They only took it out by 1 tick, and the delta were clear. Now, as we approach the 2 o'clock time frame, which is generally very important, we are on the Friday of option expiration here, which I usually find it's a good idea not to trade late in the day on Friday of option expiration week. And again, that's why I have no problem taking the time to do this video now instead of straining to find a trading opportunity. But we could continue this process. As we can see now, the volume is very, very slow. The delta is not really clear cut here, other than this little inside doji. It was even volume, so this is looking like a bit of a failed attempt to get above this pivot to establish new highs, but it's simply triangulating into a very narrow, uncertain phase here, and the volume is not giving us a clear direction. We're going to have to look for some extension, either to a low or to a high, to get a clear-cut signal. So we wouldn't be looking for a trade here. I would say that this here would have been a clear-cut indication, though, of where to take your profit on this trade. So you were possibly not getting the hoped for returns, but nevertheless a reasonable trade under the circumstances. And now you'd be on the sidelines looking for the next one. And we just we will get an indication. If it breaks down here, we'll see it either increase volume or the volume dry up, and then we'll either see delta reversal or we won't. And if we don't have a clear-cut signal, we'll just wait till we see one. So that's how well it works. It's not really very subjective at the point of the turns. It can be possibly viewed as subjective when the market is very indecisive and price is just trading in a 2 or 3 tick range. But at the extremes, when there is no more follow-through on a swing, you're going to get these very, very clearly identifiable patterns that we see repeated again and again, and they're very actionable. And if you take the trade and you only get 1.5 or 2 points, you wait till the next one. But that on a day like today, that's actually a pretty good return. So that's how we use the volume and the delta one more time, Friday, August 21st.